Hi there, welcome to the Dolce Vita Fate introduction video. I'm here, Niklas Christides, with Taina Yara, and we are the main speakers for the lecture series. Just quickly, just to say what the FATE stands for. So that is Freedom, Awareness, Transformation, and Empowerment. And this is what this lecture series is focusing around. And we will, in this intro video, go over this concept and what these words mean to us, and hopefully inspire you to also raise an interest in these subjects. We will also discuss the actual lecture series structure and what we are presenting in each lecture, and then we've got an event at the end of the series with some guest speakers who will join us in the event. To start off with, if I just quickly introduce myself, and Taina will then tell a little bit about her. So I'm Niklas Christides, as I said, the Managing Director, Dolce Vita Global. I've got fairly long international experience, long time in the UK. I'm Finnish myself, so I kind of see myself as somewhat of a citizen of the world. I do a lot of coaching, run business in countries, as well as engage quite a lot in the educational scene with various universities and so on. But in terms of my own interest in this subject, I've always been very intrigued about how the world works, and I do put a lot of time into trying to understand and self-learning to kind of see the world as what it really is. And I guess that's something that I'm trying to bring to this lecture series from my perspective. You know, I always say that I don't believe in necessarily who is right or wrong about something. We all have our own perspective, but I do like to challenge and try to get people raise thoughts about things in the world, and that's kind of my thing. So, Taina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm very happy to do so. So hello to everyone. My name is Taina Chara, and I am a transformation coach and mindset expert. And I help individuals, professionals and entrepreneurs to realize their inspiring goals so that they can really succeed on a level where they feel fulfilled and they can fulfill their life purpose and make a contribution in the world that they really desire. And my background is I'm originally from Finland as well, and I have lived in 6 countries so far in Europe and Australia. My background is in international government relations. I have also worked in not-for-profit sector, university sector, and adult education sector. And I am very passionate about international and multicultural relations, communication, and collaboration. And as Niklas, I have been very passionate about understanding our true nature as humans, understanding the human potential and consciousness from different perspectives. So it's really a pleasure for me to be part of this lecture series, and I so much look forward to sharing my knowledge and experience and insights. And I also look forward to meeting you at the final event where we can also have some interaction and you can come with your questions. So thank you. That's all about me in very short sentences.
Yeah, thank you, Taina. And I think it is really fascinating. I always enjoy the opportunity to speak with people like yourself who do share that wider, broader picture of how things work and how things potentially work, as we only know what we know. So So I think, yeah, we will have, it will be a great lecture series, and we are not only looking to, you know, bring a perspective or that's really arranged and everything. We actually want to challenge each other's thoughts as well, and we want to bring that dynamic to this lecture series to make it something that's truly interesting. And I think, you know, you learn better when people are genuinely speaking out their mind. It's so important in life. And I guess if we start to go over the faith thing, that's kind of like one of the first points. It's the freedom, isn't it? So the freedom to actually express yourself, the freedom, you know, to be and lead the life that we would like. We want to help people maybe achieve something towards that perspective. And I think a lot of things around us are very structured, very cagey. You know, we live in societies that maybe create a lot of rules for us, where we should be more engaging in our own destiny, and that for me is kind of like representing things like freedom. So you know, so let's explore that a little bit. Do you want to say anything around freedom?
Yes, thanks. So in addition to what you just shared, Niklas, I would like to add to the topic of freedom. It is one of my mottos is to say freedom through awareness. And that means that, of course, we have lots of societal structures and rules and regulations that we can perceive as constricting our freedom. And that is certainly true. And by the way, for me, freedom to live my life in the way that I want to live and I'm meant to live is always without violating the freedom of others to do the same. So that is very important point to mention. But really, what I also feel about freedom and have experienced myself is that ultimately, the becoming free to live the life that we really want to live, every one of us has their unique passions and purpose. So that is unique for all of us. It's actually ultimately an inside job. So we need to increase our awareness of the different programs, mental programs and beliefs, and limiting beliefs that we believe that are true and are limiting our own freedom. So freedom starts really inside, and that is also what we are going to discuss during this lecture series, is how we can become more free internally so that the freedom can also manifest in the external world.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, and you moved it into the awareness, bringing awareness into the subject, and I think again we will hardly be truly free unless we are aware, and you know, because awareness is a process that helps us find the road and follow a road towards that freedom. So that the freedom is not structure, and it's not something that that's other people create for us. It's what we need to find the freedom in ourselves, and that comes through the awareness and through the understanding of how the world works, and understanding the bigger picture, and you know, and being less about right and wrong, and being more about curiosity and accepting that we are not all knowing at all. We are very simple at this stage in our evolution, and but we are curious, and we want to know more, and we have such great potential, but we don't really put it to work.
Yeah, we may be in the children's shoes with regard to our awareness, but we are increasing our awareness in an increasing rate. So we are living in a very exciting time.
Correct.
And just to add shortly to awareness, for me, from my point of view, awareness is also very much about understanding more and more who we really are as human beings and where our true potential is, and that is inside. And I so much look forward to shedding more light about that during this lecture series. So the awareness is also about understanding more and more who we really are, and we are not what we have educated to believe that we are.
Correct, and importantly as well is exactly this: is that awareness comes from a balance of both mind, body, spirit, soul, heart, whatever you want to call it. It requires all these different elements, and I guess that takes us into the transformation point, which is that you know, if we're not open, if we choose to be closed, and I do believe that humanity is restricting itself partly due to the fact that we are closing a lot of things that we should have, that should be more open, you know, and that goes to the views and to the thoughts and the processes that we follow. You know, these are crucial for us to actually go on that awareness journey that you just said that the world is on. And you know, I agree. But I also agree that there is still a lot of work to do, and transformation is a part of that work. And you know, and people need to learn to accept that change is around us. It's every, you know, every cell in your body is changing constantly. It's moving around. It's not you know, there is not anything in that sense that constant around us as one would think. And when we learn to appreciate that, we can actually start to grow on the awareness journey, I feel.
And change is not only around us, because we are one with our environment, so we can't really separate ourselves from the environment. So change is around us and change is in us all the time. So the only constant in life is change. So that is something that's happening, and we don't really have to do anything to change. But there is a difference between having an intentional change and intentional transformation into a direction that we would like to develop towards, than letting life change us and letting things happen by themselves. And in this lecture series, what we really want to share is also how to more and more take control as much as we can, control of that transformation that we would like to make in our life, so that we can live a fulfilling and rewarding life.
Yeah, and with that comes empowerment. So and I think with the empowerment we especially mean the ability to kind of be content, be happy, be in balance with things, and you know, find meaning, you know, but meaning doesn't have to necessarily be an end point. It's just something that should be used as a spark of energy and hope, or whatever it is that you may require. And I think empowerment is that's why it's such an important word, because it's about engaging. It's about being part of something and doing something. If we just sit and wait, nothing will happen to us in this life. So we also have to be active in a sense, but we don't have to force things, but we have to just go with the flow. And you can do that in an empowered way.
And empowerment happens when we understand who we really are and where our true power is. Our true power is not in forcing outside sources and manipulating circumstances outside. Our true power is inside. And when we understand more and more who we really are and understand how we really function, then we are more empowered to take our lives into our hands. And about happiness. So I also want to mention that it's also an illusion to think that being happy means that you are laughing all the time and having fun all the time. That's part of happiness. But happiness comes really from living your purpose and increasing your awareness. And on that journey, we have darkness and we have light. So we have challenges and we have rewards. So that is a constant change of different things, and that makes a fulfilling, meaningful, and happy life. on a higher level of consciousness, which is the final point.
Yeah, and it's and I guess the aim is that we want to kind of, we're not here to, you know, higher consciousness and things like that. They are very, very well, actually not that complex, but they are still complex in some sense of the word, and that they can be discussed from so many different various angles and viewpoints. But I guess what we are trying to say is that we give a little indication towards what it would take to get toward to arrive somewhere at a state that you could call maybe higher consciousness. You know, where you feel like you actually realize that you are, like you said, you know, we ourselves as well as our environment, we're all part of of everything, you know, and that's why we kind of say be one with the universe, and you will be more at peace, because you're not constantly challenging everything, but you're really going with the flow. You understand that you are the flow constantly as well.
Yes, thank you. So let's move maybe to the overview of the lecture series, just to give an overview very shortly, and then we can wrap up this introduction. What do you think, Niklas?
Yeah, makes sense. So so in terms of the different sections and the question for the lecture series that we are trying to pose and answer is that, how do our thoughts impact our well-being? And why is that relevant? Is because whilst we are on this awareness journey, a lot of things in our life are also impacting us. And I think, you know, well-being is quite a large word, but it is very relevant to how we, you know, need to feel in balance, both in mind, body, spirit, whatever it is, physical as well as mental. So it's an important thing, and it's given us a really good structure for this lecture series. The first thing that you've got is also, if you want to see a little bit more about the style of how we actually present things. You've seen this introduction video, but we have this first intro session, which focuses on how does my relationship with my boss reflect me. And the idea is that we try to tackle one of the problems that is quite at the surface at the moment, which is that the workplace is not always an easy place for people, and we want to give some little bit of hints about how you could maybe improve that or improve your own feeling over there. And there is then the actual 1 hour lectures start. The first one then is the role of relationships and work in our life. So this is about giving kind of continuing on the work pattern, but going more into, you know, what is it around us that we can look at that actually impacts how we feel and how we interact with the world. After that, we talk about mind and body imbalance. What should I know and consider? This is quite a important step, because this is now where we start to step truly into the awareness thinking and then discussing about, you know, what is the whole balance between mind, body, physical, spiritual, so on. But not at a heavy way. And we try to keep it in a way that, you know, we're not some kind of gurus or anything like this. This is not our purpose. We just want to share it from a very, very simple, understandable perspective, so, you know, and make it easy to interact with. Then we go to coping with societal pressure, and this one is equally very interesting, because there is a lot of pressure, but in the end, what is our own role in that pressure, maintaining that pressure, is quite crucial. Finally, we have the understanding the role of consciousness in setting and achieving goals and targets. And this is kind of where the whole lecture series leads towards. This is about trying to become a reach point of what is consciousness. and what should we and how should you maybe structure your life to be able to achieve it or come closer to it, or what does it even mean as an idea. That said, at the end we have an event. The event date will be released separately to all of the everybody who's purchased the lecture series. And this one is based on a panel discussion. We, as said, we will have 2 other guest speakers attending with us. And the idea is that we will actually unpick the things that we've been discussing throughout the lecture series. So it's an actual interactive live session where people can ask questions as well. So it's not driven by us, but actually forcing us to start thinking in how we think at that moment in time. Taina, how do you want to say anything about those?
Yeah, thank you for that overview. That was very, very good. And really, yeah, what we are going to do in this lecture series is that these topics that we are discussing, what I really want to highlight that we are bringing our own experiences in here as well. So we are not here that we have read a few books and now we are going to repeat it here. We are sharing knowledge that we have experienced ourselves and the insights we have got through our life journey. And we will be talking about personal experiences as well as work-related experiences. So these topics are relevant for all areas of your life. So it will be very exciting and interesting. And I really hope that you will all join us. And also the final event. So we will be 4 panelists and we will be discussing about these topics from our different perspectives and sharing our knowledge, and you will be able to join us with your comments and questions that you would like to raise. So you will be participating with us as well. So that's all from my side for now. So I look forward to seeing you in the intro lecture that we are going to offer to you, and then in the lectures. Yes. And at the final panel event, of course.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Taina. Yes, for myself as well, the same point. We're hoping to see you all at the event, and to engage in it is an opportunity. So, you know, you don't always get the chance to ask people questions and have many people answer those from their perspectives. So we're hoping it's going to be really interesting as well. And yeah, just have a look at the intro video we've posted, and then we hope that the whole experience of what we're trying to present here is going to give you a real boost into the kind of holistic thinking, but not in such a heavy way. So that's it for us. Thank you very much, and see you later.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.